The 2019 Chevy Camaro convertible is a very impressive vehicle all round. This one features a 3.6 litre V6 engine with the 8-speed automatic gearbox. It works very well. It's a very good engine and transmission combination. This vehicle has a power output of 250 kilowatts and 383 newton meters of power. 383 newton meters of torque. It's a very impressive performer all round. Let's take a look around the car. All up, the car offers a very good driving position, and the pedal positioning is very good too. The instruments are quite clear, even though there's swaths of hard plastic utilised in the dashboard's construction. Swaths of hard plastic are also utilised in terms of the construction of the door cappings. As we can see here, hard scratching plastics are used throughout the construction. Although this is padded, the armrests are padded. The door pockets themselves, as you can see, are very small. They're nothing to skite about. Boot release, the trunk release button's located right down here. Inside we can see that there's flappy pedals available for upshifting and downshifting through the automatic 8-speed gearbox. The steering wheel itself is a good size. It comes with a flat bottom. This is what the key looks like. This is the keyless entry and keyless start. And the start button's located over here towards the right hand side of the steering column. So all we need to do is to press the brake and press the button to start the vehicle. The red line's flanked at 7,000 RPM, and it has a rev limiter at 7,200 RPM. And this is how it sounds. This is how it sounds. When revving in neutral, it's limited to 4,000 RPM. As you can see with the boot space, the trunk space, it's very limited. Because the roof's down, there's only a very limited amount we can put into the boot. Behind this little panel, which is removable, this is where the roof is stowed for top-down mode. And as you can see right deep into the boot, the trunk area, this is where the roof is stored, and we can get 2 cabin bags in there at most. But even when the roof is up, it only has a total capacity of 256 litres, so meaning that you can get one full suitcase, one big suitcase, plus two cabin bags at the very outside. So the practicality for this size of car is actually quite mediocre. It's nothing to skite about. And of course this vehicle has capless refueling. It seems to run on 87 AKI gasoline or 91 RON unleaded gasoline, no problem. At the passenger side remains a similar tale of woe in regards to the quality of the dashboard, of the actual plastics used in its construction. As we can see here, all these scratchy plastics are still in abundance at the car. I better put this on, it might conceal the circumcision scar. So inside, even though the passenger seat remains comfortable, there's still this big swath of very hard scratchy plastic. It's like they've gone to seek the Fisher Price lab in order to source the cheapest possible plastic available. A similar tale of woe applies to the sun visors. controls are quite large for the ventilation. And use pistons in their opening and closing. Twist to close, twist clockwise to close, twist anti-clockwise to open. And the same with all the other controls over here. This adjusts the fan speed, this adjusts the temperature, and this has an automatic climate control system which seems to work quite well. The stereo seems quite reasonable too. Has an electric parking brake as well, alongside traction control. Stands on performance mode as well as snow mode, which means the vehicle will take off in second gear ratio. Let's look at the sprawling back seat. As you can see, the seat backs look rather shapely, and they look like they're designed to fit human torsos. The seat base is a similar sort of affair. The seat base is sculptured to seat human bums. But let's take a look at the rear legroom. You'd be lucky to fit an A4 sheet of paper or an envelope between the seat back and the seat squab. Luckily, top opening and top closing is a very simple affair. This is how it goes. There's a little switch up here to open and close the top. So let's take a look at the motion. It looks a little bit like a bloody dance routine. So let's have a look at this. Now we can watch how boot space or trunk space improves. Now this cover is no longer necessary for use. 2 cabin bags come out. And this is how big the boot space, the trunk space actually is. It's not exactly sprawling. It makes some small medium cars like a Mazda 3 or a Ford Focus appear like cavernous caves. But it does the job. Put these back in here. And of course, like a lot of American cars, the indicators flash red on the rear. So let's activate the hazard lights and see how they work. Keep it on that. Let's go through the whole lighting phase. Brake lights. Let's have a look at the edge. Now this is the 3.6 litre V6 engine I was telling you about, with 250 kilowatts of power at 6,800 revs and 383 newton meters of torque at 5,000 RPM. Both of these figures are skewed high up the engine speed range, but even so it's still pretty tractable in normal driving. It's a very good engine. This is longitudinally mounted for rear-wheel drive purposes. This car is rear-wheel drive. This engine's seen a number of other Cadillac models as well as the Holden Commodore in Australia, the Buick Regal here in USA, as well as the European version doesn't apply because it doesn't have the V6. But let's have a listen to it again. Sounds good for a V6. Makes the right noises, makes the right exhaust noises too. Okay, let's drive. Pause. Okay, let's drive. There's some good driving roads around here and around the Sierra Nevada. We're not far out of Lake Tahoe now at the moment anyway, only about 10 miles, 16.1 k's. And this is a very good handling car for an American car, and with the traction control turned off, it really comes into its own. We can go into manual mode and use the pedals on the steering wheel, which seem to be quite solid for this type of bloody car. So let's do some driving. We can see how it handles. And unlike a lot of manual modes, this one does not try and upshift when you're nearing the red line or on the red line or rev limiter. It stays in the gear you've selected at all times. Let's see how it handles. It makes all the right noises. Pedals work well with upshifting and downshifting too. It's a very good driving road. Mount Rose Summit, beautiful corners. So the crest, look at the views too. The views are amazing, just there to die for. Right up to 7,000 RPM and it upshifts. Look at the views are there to die for. Oops, trippers. Oh no, there's a few people parking up just to take in the view of the snow. Notice how a lot of the roads are already starting to erode with all the many seasons of freezing over and thawing out on here. And at the moment we're roughly around about 9 to 10,000 feet above sea level, so between about 2.7 to 3 k's above sea level right now. It's just amazing. I mean, this is really great country, it really is. You see all the fir trees and so forth, and very good driving conditions, even though, like I said before, the road is eroding and that, but it's still pretty bloody good. And you can see Lake Tahoe in the distance. But even in this convertible, guys, the noise level is actually quite reasonable. It's actually very well noise suppressed. You can easily have a conversation without having to raise your voice or anything like that, even though we're on relatively smooth roads at the moment. And yeah, certainly with the top up, it's actually quite a pleasant experience. You can see Lake Tahoe right onto our right hand side there. It's just bloody amazing, beautiful place. Elevation of 8,000 feet. Up, the climate control seems to work very well as well. Very good climate control, set to 67 degrees, 19 degrees Celsius. Seems to maintain a stable temperature. And that's only 46 degrees outside, about 8 degrees Celsius. Yeah, so all up, like I said before, the actual handling is very well balanced for an American car. It really is. It does push an understeer when you push it really hard. We've got some other turns coming up here, a couple of other hairpins and whatever else. Just give people a bit of a break. The other scenic overlook around here. Brakes are very good, very progressive braking. The pedal feels quite reasonable. It's on the soft side, but it's easy to modulate the pressure. Watch the engine rev as it goes right out to its rev limiter at 7,250 RPM in second gear. Just watch the rev counter. 7,000, 7,300, 7,400 RPM right now. And being a good manual system for the automatic transmission with the paddles, it doesn't override your choice in upshift. Truck ramp. Yeah, so all up, at least in the handling department for an American sporty car, the 2019 Chevrolet Camaro actually handles very well. There could be a little bit of finessing in the terms of the matching the dampers to the springs a little bit better, just to get them to work a little bit better. But in terms of the handling balance and the general ride quality, it's actually quite good. The steering feel could be less vague off centre, but still, it's not a bad effort though for Chevrolet. We'll get back a little bit later in regards to a couple of the performance tests and so forth, things like that. But in regards to the conditions we encounter here in America, at the very least, seems to be pretty good. So tell me what you'll think of that.